Hello! A few months ago I moved house and I'm lucky enough to have a whole room for my computer and to record in and stuff, and I know a few of you are really interested in seeing what my studio looks like, so I thought I'd show you around today. So follow me, I'll take you around. Here's my bookshelf. It's full of books and plants, and it's got some amiibos. The plants look very pretty in the bookcase, but unfortunately they don't get much light. So usually I have to take the plants during the day over to my window seat. Follow me and I'll take you to the window seat. This is the window seat. This is where I wake up in the morning and I play Animal Crossing. It's really nice because you can see squirrels outside on the trees, because the old lady downstairs leaves food out for the squirrels and it makes them very fat, but they stick around, which is really nice for me. Here is something that I painted. It's a birdhouse, but I don't have a garden, so it lives here. And it's got a Junji Ito spiral on the inside, so if birds do decide to live here, they'll get very dizzy. But I thought it was quite cool. It's Fallout on the outside and Junji Ito on the inside. These are done by a talented onion. These are done by Amy. Here we have a Witch 3 map. Mirror. And over here is my writing desk. This is where I go if I want to write, because I'm trying to write a short story, but it's very difficult. I'm 1,000 words in. Hopefully 2,000 by the end of this month. But I like to write here because, I don't know, there's something nice about being not at your usual workspace, and I feel like there's less distractions on this part of the desk, so I can just wheel my chair over to here and just write with the light and stuff. Here's my cork board. It has all my pictures of my friends that I haven't seen in a long time, so it makes me really nostalgic when I look at the pictures. And also, I'm really bad at remembering important words, and being a designer, that's not a great trait because I need to communicate with other people a lot of the time. So I wrote down all the important designer words and wrote them here. If you'd like me to do a video sharing with you important designer words and their meanings, then let me know and I can share it with you, because I needed it. Words like affordances, signifiers, constraint, perceived affordances, different than affordances. Then yeah, we can do a whole video on design words and communication. Very important stuff. Right, so here is foam things that are supposed to stop me being loud, but I don't think they work. I just got them because every other YouTuber has them. But I don't think they work. But I put them back here anyway. It was a kerfuffle because I'm renting this place and they fell off the wall, so I had to put them on cardboard and they fell off the cardboard. So sometimes they still fall down, but they're up at the moment and that's what counts. This is the computer. This is what I was saving up for years. Those of you who have been following me for years know that I was waiting for a computer for many years, and it's finally here. We got 2 monitors, we got some fancy streaming lights. Ooh. I have a webcam here, but actually, funny thing, I don't use this webcam. This is like a Logi C390, I think. Could be wrong, I'll double check. But I actually prefer the image quality from my phone. So I have 2 phones that I use, my actual phone and this phone, which actually I just use for recording songs and stuff and as a webcam. So it's usually always up here. So that's my phone. This is my computer. This is the computer tower. Beautiful. This is my Switch. And I guess that's about it. We've got, oh yeah, we have my guitar. It looks very nice in its stand. Whenever I'm in a meeting, people see it behind me, and usually people comment on how beautiful she is, because she is. And then we have my ukulele here. She doesn't get a stand. And I usually play the guitar sitting here on my little window seat, which is nice. It's very relaxing, chill. This is my Tech Woman 100 award. Which is cool. This is a book that I love. It's about things that never were. Look, come here. It tells you old mythological tales and talks about witchcraft and different religions and gods and mythological creatures. It's super cool. I think that's about it. Okay, well that was my studio. I hope you enjoyed it. Hi everyone, so seeing as we've now had the studio tour, I thought we would also do a Q&A because it's been a little while since we've just sat down and chatted together. So let's do this. Thank you so much to everyone who asked me questions. I got way more than I even imagined, but unfortunately I can only answer one at a time. I have also sectioned these questions off into different categories so you can skip to the point in the video that you'd like to hear the answers of. The categories are game dev questions, creative project questions, anything other than game dev, and then personal questions. And we're going to begin with Patreon questions. As always, Patreons come first. First question is from Michael Cass, and they ask, what does a typical day in your life look like? What is your schedule? We want to see your day. And I could do a day in the life video if you want me to. I honestly don't do many vlogs or anything like that anymore because I don't do much. I feel like I just stay in my room and don't do much. But if you'd like to see it, do let me know in the comments below. Ib196 asked, what is your favourite part of the creative process? And this is quite a difficult question because the creative process just has massive highs and massive lows throughout the whole entire thing. But I think my favourite part is probably the part at the very beginning where you're coming up with ideas, you're getting inspiration, you're researching, you get kind of obsessive over the idea and you're just super excited about it. That is always really fun, and then you've just got to kind of truck through all of the hard work that comes after that, but hopefully it's worthwhile at the end. Vixelite says, have you ever thought of doing a meet and greet at an event like Insomnia? And honestly, no, because I thought that nobody would come and I'd be like, hey, meet and greet, and I'd be stood around just like do. But if you would come and you would like me to do something like that, then let me know by giving a like on this video or letting me know in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do. Gaming with Malachi asks, what webcam do you use? And as you saw in the studio tour, I actually use my second phone, which is a Samsung Note 9, which was actually gifted to me by Mantaz, who is also a Patreon. So thank you so much, Mantaz. It's my webcam, and it's honestly the best quality that I could hope for. I use an app called Droid Cam, and you can get that on your PC and on your phone, and then I just connect them together via USB and it works perfectly. And talking of Mantaz, or also known as It's Ya Boy, asks me, what makes you happy and are you really happy now? And that's a really, really deep question that I have taken a lot of thought to answer. So I need to read it. So I'm actually coming to terms recently with the fact that what makes you happy changes, and that's okay. So what might have made me happy a year ago might not be what makes me happy now, and that's not something wrong with me, that's just a part of growing up. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that the things that truly do make me happy are the really small things in life, and just being able to get outside, be in nature, experience things, and obviously be around people who love me for who I am, and I don't have to be anyone but myself. You know, my friends, my family, just people who I feel so close and comfortable with. It's actually really difficult to find people like that, and when you do have them, you really should enjoy their company, because that's probably one of the happiest times that you will feel. And as for am I happy now, obviously I have my days where I'm very happy and my days where I'm very low, but I am working towards my own happiness and bettering myself and looking after myself more by going to therapy, thinking about self-care, putting self-care stuff in my to-do lists. So I think generally yes, but there's definitely more work that I could do, and I'm taking the steps to get it done. I probably should also add here, I'm not going to lie, I have been struggling with anxieties after lockdown, and that's one of the reasons why I've gone to therapy, and it hasn't been the same since before COVID, and I'm sure everyone probably has this feeling where there's a feeling that they can't really describe, it's not very nice, and they've got to figure it out after COVID. And I would say if you're struggling like me, do phone a doctor, go to therapy. Talking about it really does help, or it helps me at least. Now we're moving on to the game dev question, and this question is from rcrofts 2000, just like the Nimbus 2000 or something. Okay, they asked me what are my specs, and I'm just going to get Jacob, the lovely editor, to please write them on the screen now. I've given you them in a note, so you can write them here. I don't know them off by heart because I'm not really a hardware person. So when I came to getting my PC, I actually just asked my friends who are really techie people, and they helped me a lot, and then I paid for it, and then I got it. Oh yeah, okay. Josu has asked me if there's anything that's more important to have in your studio, because they're trying to build up their own studio space, but they don't have too much money. And I would just say, obviously, your PC comes first, or your equipment that you're actually going to be doing work on, that has to come first with the money that you're spending. But if you've already got that sorted and you're just looking for the space, think about you and what makes you work better. Everyone's different. I like to be, like I said, around nature. So hence why I do have plants in here. And it's not an abundance, but it's enough to make me feel happy. I like to look outside. So therefore I made sure that my desk was near a window, but not so close that it's going to get loads of light glare or anything like that on the screens. I like to take breaks and play my guitar, so I wanted to make sure I had a nice little guitar stand. And I do like to look at pretty things, so having a little bookcase is nice for me to look at all my books and put some candles. I really like smelly candles. So how do you work? What makes you get in the zone? What makes you feel happy? Do you like minimalistic spaces? Do you like big open spaces? If so, that's great. That's actually really cheap. You don't have to buy much for your room. But are you like me? Do you like nature? Do you want a plant to look after? Do you play music? Do you read books? Is there visual inspirations that you have that maybe you want to put all over the walls? That's kind of what I would say you should think about. Carlos_7x asked me, what's the first game that you played and what game got you into game development or maybe made you want to be a game developer? So first game, I honestly can't remember. My mum tells me that I've been playing games ever since I was like a toddler and they had a PC at the end of their bed. So I would sit at the end of their bed playing the PC. So I guess maybe it was like Snake or something. Don't know. I think the games that made me interested in game development would be games like Beyond Good and Evil, Gregory's Horror Show, the Harry Potter games 1 till 3. Games that really got me into a new world and made me really appreciate that form of art. But I think also games that super inspired me were also from Miniclip and just little indie games that people had made on their own, like Every Day the Same or Immortal. They're extremely small games, and like I say, they're just made by probably one person and put on miniclip.com, which for those who are young, it was a website where you would just play free Flash games. It was kind of old now. But yeah, it was super, super inspiring because these games were very short, but they made you think about life. They made you question things. They made you come away actually questioning things about yourself. And I did write an article about this actually a long time ago. So if I find it, I'll put it in the description down below. Sankit Patil asks, what was your inspiration to become a game dev? And honestly, it's always just been to tell stories. My whole goal in my life has been to tell stories. When I was a kid, I was just writing stories all the time. So yeah, tell stories basically. Leon Grata and Eric Ruiz both asked me about a possible next game project, and short answer is I aim to make another game in the future. Long answer is it's currently not viable for me to make a video game at the moment with my full-time job. There's simply not enough time in the day, especially when I'm doing live streams and other videos like this one. I am currently looking into ways that I can maybe focus on a bigger project in the future, and that would mean dropping some things, which is extremely scary. But I am working towards figuring out what I want and how to do it, because I'm not naturally business minded. I don't know how to make money from the things that I make. So it is it's a very scary thought for me to not have a full-time job, because I'm not business minded, but hopefully one day I can be in a financial position and also in a confident position, like confident in myself enough to take the step to create something again that I'm extremely proud of, and something a bit more finished that hopefully you can enjoy. That's also why I'm making loads of game dev music videos and stuff like that, because I'm still learning. I'm learning loads of techniques, so hopefully I can put them to good use one day in the future. But thank you for asking. I'm still baffled by the amount of people that want me to make more video games and really still enjoy perfection and tell me nice things about it all the time. So thank you so much. It means a lot. Now on to creative project questions, and the first one is from Craig Bagley, who says, what motivates you? Good question. I don't know. It seems to be kind of like an innate need to create things that express myself and that hopefully can connect with others. I mean, maybe it's the whole finding your tribe thing, and hopefully I can put something out that makes a positive impact on someone, but also affirms my own view on the world and my own emotions and feelings. whatever it is, it's a very addictive feeling, and it definitely is highly motivating. So hopefully that somewhat answers your question. Moonmaster101 says, how do you organize yourself to do all the different types of things that you want to do? So game dev, music, videos, all of the things. And I say this is a very, very good question. And as I kind of touched on earlier, I do get overwhelmed by it, and I am working through some thoughts and frustrations that I have right now over me really wanting to work on just one big project versus all these tiny ones. But that's something that I'm working on in my head and with my therapist. But what I do to do all of this, because I always think I'm not doing enough and I'm not outputting very much, but whenever I get questions like this, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it does look like I'm managing to pull it off somehow. But what I do to try to pull it off is I do a to-do list, try and do it every day. Don't, get annoyed at myself if I don't manage to do it every day, that's fine. But what I do is I do it every month. What I do every month is put a to-do list of what I want to achieve that month, and then I color code it. So I have different colors for game dev, YouTube, music, writing, and personal. So self-care, stuff like this, stuff that's going to make me happy. And I try to make each to-do at least one of the different categories, so that I'm going to do something to build upon those different skills and also to make me happy. And I try not to do any more than 5 to-dos. So it might be like start on a music video, write 1,000 more words in your book, play a new video game, things like that. And then I can reflect on them after the month and see how I've done. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I never do them all. I never complete them all. I haven't figured that out yet. But I've always ticked off at least like 2 or 3 of them, which is really good. And also it helps me to manage my Google Calendar. I put everything in my Google Calendar. If I know what I'm supposed to achieve for that month, I do try and make a sort of structure for myself. But having a full-time job does make it hard. Sometimes you just get really tired after work and you don't want to do what your calendar's telling you to do, and that's also okay. But if you've got it there, then you know what you're supposed to do, and you can just maybe push it back to tomorrow or something. So yeah, to-do lists, calendars, tasks, deadlines, but soft deadlines. Be good to yourself. Devansh02 says, how do you deal with work and stress and still look beautiful? Thank you. But I do not look like this all the time. I literally only put makeup on for like live streams and on the weekend. But I guess I do have a self-care routine on a Friday where I will put my coconut oil in my hair, do a face mask, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I definitely don't look like a goddess all of the time, and especially when I am overwhelmed and stressed. Jeez, you have not seen me like that. So yeah, don't get the wrong impression. It's literally impossible, but it's fine. Bergie asked, what is your greatest strength? Well, what is your greatest strength and what is your greatest weakness? And I'd like to say that my greatest strength is overthinking, but to the point where I'm quite good at threading multiple ideas or inspirations to make one cohesive piece of art. I think that comes from a mixture of like curiosity, a little bit of obsession, absolutely love research and writing, and yeah, just overthinking, just constantly questioning and figuring out stuff. And I do like to think that, yeah, that's a strength. Like I can piece things together and I can come up with something cohesive most of the time. Weakness is definitely my confidence. It has held me back and it does hold me back. So as I said before, that's what I'm working on. I absolutely love creating and working. I love it. But as soon as someone starts to ask me about it, I start to doubt myself and I don't like talking about it. Even, just people who ask me very, very sweet questions but no ill intentions behind it, I just suddenly think, oh my gosh, I have nothing to say, I don't know what to say, I just freeze up because the confidence isn't there, and it holds me back from forming relationships that would help me in a work sense and getting further in my career, I guess. So need to work on that, and I am working on that, so don't you worry. Reese King asks, do you have an inspiration board or any tips to get inspired? And no, I don't have an inspiration board. I'm quite lucky because I have so many ideas. It's just a massive backlog of ideas, and I never seem to have to worry about that side of things. And what I do is whenever I do have an idea, whether that be from a dream or a simple thought, or maybe I watched a film and I wished it had a different ending, I write it down, whether that be in my journal, Google Keep, or even in the Discord group that a lot of you are in. I actually have a private section that's just for me. That's all of my video ideas, game ideas, music ideas. So that's right under your noses, and you didn't even know that it existed. But I think just writing down every single idea, even if it's just the tiniest drop of an idea and it just is not cohesive or anything at all, write it down, because you never know when you might have a larger idea and then suddenly that idea fits in with that, and then you have a fully made piece. That's definitely that advice. And tips to come up with ideas, I guess it would just be to just have fun with it and roll with your feelings. That's how I do it anyway. Just ask questions, be curious. What inspires you? Like when you watch a piece of media or whatever, what hits you hardest? Like what stays with you after you've left that theatre experience or whatever it is? And what do you feel really strongly about? And from that, can you create a piece from that? Can you replicate that emotion, that feeling, that stance that you have about an experience or a situation? Can you replicate that in a creative form? Or if not, is there something that you can do to try and replicate that through the audience instead? I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but whenever I'm trying to, especially with songs, whenever I'm trying to write a song, it's an emotion that I feel, and it's usually something that I'm trying to work through in the moment. Creativity really helps with that. Creative projects helps you understand your own feelings. So honestly, I just think start with your feelings and then let it roll from there. Don't be scared, just do it. And that's the most raw pieces of art as well. I'm sure people can relate to those pieces, so good luck. Right, this one is very important. Listen very carefully. Rage in the Cage asked, is there any tips that you have to shake off bad mood or exhaustion when you are in the middle of a project or anything like that? I've had a lot of bad advice when it comes to this topic that does trigger me. I've heard people just say, just keep working, just go for it, like force yourself to do it and you can nail it, yeah. But no, I do think it's a good idea if you feel up to it to start working for like maybe half an hour and just see if it kickstarts you out of your funky mood. And if you're working and you feel worse or you feel the same, after about half an hour or an hour, stopped, just stop it. You are not going to feel better. Working is not going to make you feel better. We are all different people. Some people can just work every single day and they don't need rest or anything. I mean, I'm thinking they're lying, but they say they don't, so sure, they don't. But a lot of us, myself included, do need to rest up and to do self-care and to just, be away from the projects that we're working on sometimes, to actually experience life beyond the computer screen. It's something that I definitely still struggle with because there's only a limited amount of time in the day, especially when you have a full-time job as well. And you want to make the most out of that time, but also you want to live your life. You want to be happy. You want to be around your friends and your family. You want to see the sunrise in the morning. You want to look at the birds flying outside your window, and you can't do that when you're just focused on your projects all the time. So it's really hard to find that balance, but usually if I'm in a really bad mood and really bad place and I'm not getting knocked out of it when I'm starting to do work, it's probably because I need that rest. And maybe that's what you go through when you feel like that too. You need that rest. And it's extremely difficult, but try not to feel guilty for letting yourself have that rest. It's actually more productive to let yourself have a day of rest, a day of enjoying things, a day of being outside, being around people that you love, doing whatever it is you have to do to recover, and then you can come back the next day and feel so much more productive. I promise you, if you force yourself to work and you don't get out of that funk and you just try to ignore the feeling that's still there, you're just going to work yourself into a really bad burnout and you won't want to look at that project again, let alone finish it. So that's just not productive at all. And if you feel that this feeling persists or it keeps coming back very often, I would say if you're a female, look at your cycle of the month. So you can develop depression around your PMS time. And also, I would say just phone your doctor. You don't just need to phone them for medication, although don't look down on medication. Medication can definitely help. But also the doctors can talk to you about therapy, about other things that might help you. And if you think you can't afford therapy, your doctor will be able to tell you if there is a cheaper option for you in your area. Phone the doctor if you feel like it's becoming a severe problem and you can't work or you can't enjoy your work anymore, because that's not good. Look after yourself, please. You and your happiness is number one priority. Danger Mouse 2 asks, are you doing a next music project? And yes, I'm working on one right now. It's another Unreal Engine music video. The song's already done, so hopefully it'll come out maybe sometime next month or something. Very excited for that. And I am working on the second EP with Jamie. It's trucking along very slowly. I need to get back to the studio now, but life keeps getting in the way, but it is in the works, so yes. Okay, now we're into the personal questions, and we're starting with Jan Dio, who asks, what was your initial plan for your YouTube channel and how much has it changed since? It's quite interesting because I looked back at my first video. It turns out I didn't know what I wanted to do back then. I wanted to make a YouTube channel just sharing what I was really interested in and being creative online. And look, I haven't changed. Isn't that interesting? I still do basically the same thing, but all that has changed is that the content has refined a bit. It's got a lot more professional, if I do say so myself, very much like myself. But yeah, this channel is basically just a reflection of my scattered brain, and I think it always has been, but yes, it's definitely showing that my skills have improved, so yeah, it's nice. Sahared, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering anybody's names, by the way, really sorry. But you asked, how many instruments do I have and which one is my favourite? And I have an electroacoustic guitar. It's a parlour guitar, so it's like a little bit smaller because I'm a little bit smaller, so it's the perfect size for me. And a ukulele as well, which is very, very, very small. And I love them both. I mean, my ukulele is my first instrument that I learnt to play, but I gotta say, I just love the guitar. I love the guitar, and everyone who sees it just tells me how beautiful she is, and I'm like, I know, I love her. Anyway. Princess Lettuce asks, do you want pets? And I say, hell yeah, definitely want pets. Probably won't get them until I'm able to afford a house though, because rented places don't allow you to have pets most of the time, which is sad. Mateo asks, dogs or cats? And I like both, but I'm gonna say cats, because I grew up with cats and I had a very fond relationship with all of my cats. And Casey says, do you have any fashion inspiration to share? Or what is my fashion inspiration? So I don't know where I get fashion inspiration from. I guess a bit of everywhere. I mean, definitely some TV shows like The Queen's Gambit. Oof, great. But I think what I've learnt, because I used to, before all of this, I used to work in retail, in fashion retail, Next, New Look. Ugh. they were horrible places to work. But I worked in Karen Millen as well. I actually really enjoyed working there. And I learned a lot about silhouettes. And especially if you're, so I've learned, for me, you'll have to learn what silhouette works best for you because everybody's shape is different. But for me, because I'm a petite girl, very tall, no, I'm not, I'm the opposite, I am very short. I wear like high-waisted trousers, straight cuts. I used to wear a lot of skinnies, but now I'm learning that actually straight cuts, or even wide cuts actually, make my legs look longer, therefore make me look taller, which is good for me. And then if you look at like tops with maybe sleeves like this, so if I'm wearing like an outfit, it'll like go. Anyway, that's the kind of silhouette you're going for, right? Everyone wants the hourglass. So it's all about looking at your own body and seeing what silhouette works for you. Also colours, so what colour is your hair, what colour is your skin. I don't wear much pale clothing because I would look like I was naked or something. So I wear a lot of like dark clothes and autumnal colours because of my hair colour and also my eye colour. So yeah. Look at the colour palette, see what colours go with your hair, your eyes, and that's probably the colours that will be nice on you when you wear them. That's my little tips. Okay, and that is the end of the Q&A. That was a long Q&A. I have very red cheeks, I'm very hot now, but it was really nice just reflecting and answering some of your questions. I'm very flattered that I got so many questions, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know in the comments below if there is any topic that you really would like to hear more about. Definitely got some music videos on the way and more game dev related content. So I will see you in the next video or live stream on Thursdays at 8:30 PM BST, and have a lovely day or evening.